네, 안녕하십니까. 영어 최종 연습 161차 시작해 보도록 하겠습니다. 네, 오늘도 첫 번째 영상은 오바마 대통령 입학연설 영상이고요. 이 영상 자막 가리고 들으면서 바로바로 따라해 보겠습니다. 네, 바로 시작해 보도록 하겠습니다. But at the end of the day, the circumstances of your life, what you look like, where you come from, how much money you have, what you got going on at home, none of that is an excuse. There is no excuse for not trying. I've given a lot of speeches about education. I talked about responsibility a lot. I talked about teachers' responsibility for inspiring students and pushing you to learn. I talked about your parents' responsibility for making sure you're on track and you get your homework done. Don't spend every hour in front of the TV or with the Xbox. I've talked about a lot about your government's responsibility for setting high standards, supporting teachers and principals, and turning around schools that are working, where students aren't getting the opportunities they deserve. But at the end of the day, we can have the most dedicated teachers. We can have the most dedicated teachers, most supportive parents, and best schools in the world, and none of them will make a difference. None of it will matter unless all of you fulfill your responsibility. Unless you show up to those schools, unless you pay attention to the teachers, unless you listen to your parents or grandparents or other adults and put in the hard work it takes to succeed. That's what I want to focus on today. Responsibility each of you has for your education. I want to start to yourself. I want to start the responsibility. I want to start with the responsibility you have for your education. I want to start responsibility. I want to start with the responsibility that you have to yourself. Every single one of you has something to that you're good at. Every single one of you has something to offer. You have a responsibility to yourself to discover what that is. That's the opportunity an education can provide. Maybe you could be a great writer. Maybe even good enough to write a book or articles in newspaper, but you might not know it. Maybe you could be an innovator or inventor. Maybe even good enough to come up with the next iPhone or new medicine or vaccine. But you might not know it until you do your project for your science class. Maybe you could be a mayor or a senator or a Supreme Court justice. Maybe you might not know it until you join student government or the debate team. No matter what you want to do with your life, I guarantee that you need an education to do. You want to be a doctor or teacher or police officer, you want to be a nurse or architect or lawyer or military member of military, you're gonna need a good education for every single one of those careers. You cannot drop out of school and just into a good job. You got to train for it, and work for it, and learn for it. Decisions is for your own life and your own future. When you make of your education, we decide nothing less than the future of this country. The future of America depends on you. What you are learning in school today will determine whether we, as a nation, can meet our greatest challenges in the future. You'll need the knowledge and problem-solving skills you learn in science and math to cure diseases like cancer and AIDS, to develop your energy technologies and protect our environment. You'll need the insights and critical thinking skills you gain in history and social studies to fight poverty and homelessness, crime and discrimination, and make our nation more fair and more free. You'll need the creativity and ingenuity you develop in all your classes to build your companies that will create your jobs and boost our economy. We need every single one of you to develop your talents, your skills, and your insight, so you can help us. All the folks are our most important problem. If you don't do that, if you quit on school, you're not just quitting on yourself, you're quitting on your country. I know it's always to do well in school. I know it's not always to do well in school. I know a lot of you have challenges in your life right now, but they can make it hard to focus on your school. I get it. I know what it's like. My father left my family when I was 2 years old. I was raised by a single mom who had to work and who struggled at times to pay the bills and was and wasn't always able to give us the things that are the case. And there were times when I missed having a father in my life. There were times when I was lonely, and I felt like I didn't fit in. So I was always as focused as I should have been in school. So I was always as focused in school. So I was always as focused as I should have been in school. So I was always as focused as I should have been in school. I did some things I'm not proud of, and I got in more trouble than I should. In my life, could have easily taken a turn for the worse, but I was lucky. I got a lot of circumstances. Then I had the opportunity to go to college and law school. Follow my dreams. My wife, Special Lady Michelle Obama, she had a similar story. Neither of her parents had to go to college, and they didn't have a lot of money. But they worked hard and she worked hard. So that she could go to the best schools in this country. Some of you might have those advantages that maybe you don't have, or those in your life who give you the support that you need. Maybe someone in your family has lost their job, and there's not enough money going around. Or you live in a neighborhood where you don't feel safe, or have friends who are pressuring you to do things you know are right. But at the end of the day, circumstances of your life, where you look like, where you come from, how much money you have, what you got going on at home, none of that is an excuse for neglecting your homework and having better attitude in school. That's no excuse talking back to your teacher and cutting class and dropping out of school. There is no excuse for not trying. Where you are right now doesn't have to determine where you end up. No one's written the destiny for you. No one's written your destiny for you. Because here in America, you write your own destiny. You make your own future. That's why young people like you that's what young people like you are doing every day all across America. Young people like Jasmine Perez from Roma, Texas. Jasmine didn't speak English when she started first in school. When she started first.
Perez from Roma, Texas. Jasmine didn't
speak English
when she first started school.
Neither of her parents had gone to college, but she worked hard on the good grades and got a scholarship to Brown University. Is now in graduate school studying public health on her way to becoming Dr. Jasmine Perez. I'm thinking about Donnie Schultz from Los Angeles, California, who's fought brain cancer since he was 3. He's had to endure all sorts of treatments and surgeries, one of which affected his memory, so it took him much longer, hundreds of weeks or hours, to do his schoolwork. But he never fell behind. He's headed to college this fall. And then there was Chantal Steve from my hometown, Chicago.
He's headed to college this fall. Then there's Chantal Steve from my hometown of Chicago.
From my hometown of Chicago, Illinois. Even when bouncing from foster home to foster home, in the toughest neighborhood in the city, she managed to get a job at a local healthcare care center, start a program to keep young people out of gangs, and she's on track to graduate high school in with honors and go on to college. Jasmine and Donnie, Chantal, aren't any different from any of you. They face challenges in their lives just like you do. In some cases, they got a lot worse off than many of you, but they refused to give up. They chose to take responsibility for their lives, for their education, and set goals for themselves. I expect all of you to do the same. That's why I call of you. That's why today I'm calling.
And I expect all of you to do the same.
And I expect all of you to do the same.
That's why today I'm calling on each of you to set your own goals for your education.
That's why today I'm calling on each of you to set your own goals through your education.
And do the same. That's why today I'm calling on each of you to set your own goals for your education.
Through your education. And do everything you can to be and whatever you resolve to do. I want you to commit. I want you to really work it. I know that sometimes when you get sense from the TV that you can be rich and successful without any work. Your ticket to success is through rapping or basketball or being on railway, TV star. Chances are you're not gonna be any of those things. The truth is, being successful is hard. You won't love every subject then you study. You won't click with every teacher that you have. Not every homework assignment will seem completely relevant to your life right at this minute. And and you won't necessarily succeed at everything the first time you try. That's okay. Some of the most successful people in the world are some of the most successful people in the world are the ones who had most failures. J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter, her first Harry Potter book was rejected 12 times before it was probably published. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. He lost hundreds of games and missed thousands of shots during his career. He once said, "I had failed over and over and over again in my life, and that's why I succeed." These people succeeded because they understood that you can't let your failures define you. You have to let your failures teach you. You have to let them show you what to do differently next time. If you get into trouble, it doesn't mean you're a troublemaker. It means you need to try harder, to act right. If you get a bad grade, it doesn't mean you're stupid. It doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means you spend more time. You need to spend more time studying. No one's being good
doesn't mean you're stupid. It means you need to try harder
to act right.
right. If you get a bad grade, that doesn't mean you're stupid.
That doesn't mean you're stupid.
It just means you need to spend
It just means you need to spend
more
more
time
time studying. No one's being good at all things. You become good at things through hard work. Not a varsity athlete. The first time you play in your sport, you don't hit every note. The first time you sing a song, you got to practice. The same principle applies to your schoolwork. You might have to do a math problem a few times before you get it right. You might have to do you might have to read something a few times before you understand it. You definitely have to do a few drafts of a paper. You definitely have to do few drafts of paper before it's good enough to hand in. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. I do that every day. The asking for help is a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. Because it shows you have admit. Because it shows you have the courage to admit when you don't know something, and that allows you to learn something new. So find an adult that you trust. A parent or a grandparent or a teacher, a coach or a counselor, and ask them to help you and ask them
or a teacher, a coach, or a counselor, and ask them to help you stay
and ask them to help you stay on track
to meet your
track
goals.
and ask them to help you stay on track to meet your goals.
Even when you're struggling,
Even when you're struggling, even when you're discouraged,
feel like
and you feel like other people have given up on you, don't ever give up on
when you
yourself.
give up on yourself,
Because when you give up on yourself,
you give up on your country.
you give up on your country.
The story of America isn't about people
The story of America isn't about people who quit
when things got
when things got tough.
It's about people who kept going,
It's about people who kept going,
who tried
who
harder,
tried harder,
loved their country too much
who loved their country too much
to
to
do
do anything less than their
The
best.
story of students
It's a story of students who said, where you sit
who sit 250 years ago
250 years ago
and went on to wage a revolution,
and went on to wage a revolution,
and they founded this
and they founded this nation.
young people.
Young people, students who said, where you sit 75 years ago,
who overcame a depression
who overcame a depression
and won a world war,
and won a world war,
fought for civil rights,
who fought for civil
put
rights
a man on the moon.
and put on the man on the moon.
Students who sat
Where you sit 20 years ago, who founded Google and Twitter and Facebook, and changed the way we communicated with each
I
other.
want to ask all of
So today I want to ask all of you,
what's your
what's your contribution going to be? What problems are you going to solve? What discoveries will you make? So I expect all of you to get serious this year. I expect you to put your best effort into everything you do. I expect great things from each of you. Don't let us down. Don't let your family down or your country down. Most of all, don't let yourself down. Make us all proud. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless America. 네. 네, 첫 번째 영상 잘 끝났습니다. 아주 동기부여에 좋은 영상. 네, 잘 들었습니다. 두 번째 영상은 How to have a good conversation이라는 영상이고요. 셀레스테의 히들리라는 사람의 영상입니다. 테드 영상. 자막 보면서 해보겠습니다. I want to see your show of hands. How many of you have some friends or someone on Facebook because they say something offensive about politics, religion, childcare, food? And how many of you know less than one person that you avoid because you just don't want to talk to them? You know, in used to be in a life, in used to be in a life, in order that polite conversation. We just had to follow the advice. We just had to follow the advice on Henry Higgins and My First Lady. Stick to the weather and your health. These days with climate change and the vaccine, those subjects are not safe either. So this world that we live in, this world in which every conversation has the potential to develop into an argument, where our politicians can speak to one another, and where even the most trivial of issues have someone fighting both passionately for it and against it, it's not normal. Pew Research did a study of 10,000 Americans, and they found that at this moment we are more polarized, we are more divided than we ever have been in history. We're less likely to compromise, which means we're not listening to each other. Yeah, we make decisions about where we live, who to marry, and even how our friends are going to be, based on what we already believe. Again, that means we're not listening to each other. So conversation requires a balance between talking and listening. And somewhere along the way, we lost that balance. And part of the study to acknowledge the smartphones that you already have in your hands are close enough that you could grab them really quickly. According to Pew Research, about a third of American teenagers send more than 100 texts a day. And many of them, almost most of them, are more likely to text their friends than they are to talk to them face to face. There's this great piece in the outline. It was written by a high school teacher named Paul Brownell. And he gave his catchword. He wanted to teach them how to speak on a subject beyond using us. And he said this: I came to realize that conversational competence might be the single most overlooked skill we fail to teach. Kids spend hours each day engaging with ideas and each other through screens, but rarely do they have an opportunity to hone their interpersonal communication skills. It might sound like a foreign question, but we have to ask ourselves, is there any first-century skill more important than being able to sustain current confident conversation? Now, I make my living talking to people. Nobel Prize winners, truck drivers, billionaires, kindergarten teachers, heads of states, plumbers. I talk to people that I like, I talk to people that I don't like. I talk to some people that I disagree deeply on a personal level, but I still have a great conversation with them. So I'd like to spend the next 10 minutes or so teaching you how to talk and how to listen. Many of you have already heard a lot of advice on this. Many of you have already heard a lot of advice on this. Many of you have already heard a lot of advice on this. Heard a lot of advice on this. Many of you have already heard a lot of advice on this. Things like look the person in the eye, think of interesting topics to discuss in advance, look a nod and smile to show that you are paying attention, Looking back, watch just horror. You summarize it? So I want you to forget all of that. It is crap. There's no reason to learn how to show you are paying attention if you are in fact paying attention. Now, I actually use the exact same skills as a professional interviewer that I do in regular life. So, I'm gonna teach you how to interview people, and that's actually gonna help you learn how to be better conversationalist. Learn to have a conversation without wasting on time, without adding word, and please God, without offending anybody. We all have really great conversations. We have them before. We know what it's like. We kind of conversation where you break away, building your edge and inspire, or where you feel like you made a real connection, or you've been perfectly understood. There is no reason why most of our connections can be like that. So I have 10 listeners. I'm gonna talk you through all of them. And but honestly, if you just choose one of them and master it, you're already enjoying better conversations. Number one, don't multitask. And I don't mean just set your other phone or your tablet or your car keys or whatever is your end. I mean, be present. Be in that moment. Don't be thinking about your argument you had with your boss, or don't think about what you're gonna have for dinner. If you wanna get out the conversation, get out the conversation. Don't be half in it and half out of it. Number two, don't pontificate. If you want to state your opinion without any opportunity for response or argument or pushback or growth, write it up. Now, there's a really good reason why I don't allow pundits on my show, because they are really boring. If they are contrary, they are gonna have one my footsteps or version. If they are liberal, they're gonna have big banks and oil corporations and big chain. Totally predictable. You don't want to be like that. You need to enter every conversation assuming that you have something to learn. The famous therapist Scott Peck said that true resilience requires a setting aside of oneself. But sometimes that means setting aside your personal opinion. He said the sensing this acceptance, the speaker will become less and less vulnerable and more likely to open up the inner recesses of his or her mind to the listener. Again, assume that you have something to learn. Bill Nye, everyone will ever meet knows something that you don't. I put it this way, everybody is an expert in something. Number three, use opening educations. In this case, pick a few foreign journalists. Start your questions with who, what, when, where, why, or how. If you put in a complicated question, you are going to get a simple answer out. If you try to ask you, were terrified, you're going to respond to the most powerful word in the sentence, which is terrified. And the answer is, yes, I was nervous. Were you angry? Yes, I was very angry. Let them describe it. This was tell them once then know. Try asking things like, what's their life? How do they all feel? Because then they might have to stop for a moment and think about it. And you're gonna get a much more interesting response. Number four, go with the flow. That means thoughts will come into your mind, and you need to let them go out of your mind. We've heard interviews often in which a guest is talking for several minutes, and then the host comes back and asks questions, which is similar to another scenario. It's already been answered. The best way someone will start to listen 2 minutes ago because he thought of this really clever question, and he was just bound and determined to say that. And we do the exact same thing. We're still having a conversation with someone, and then remember the time we then went to a coffee shop, and we stopped listening. We're just waiting for a moment to interject our story about Hugh Jackman and coffee. Stories and ideas are gonna come to you. You need to let them come and let them go. Number five, if you don't know, say that you don't know. People on the radio, especially on PR, are much more aware that they are going on a record. So they are more careful about what they claim to be an expert in and what they claim to be not for sure. To that, err on the side of caution. Talk should not be cheap. Number six, don't negate your experience with theirs. If they're talking about having a lost family member, don't start talking about the times you lost a family member. If talking about what you traveling or having a work, don't tell them about how much you have your job. It's not the same. It is never the same. All experience are individual. And more importantly, It is not about you. You don't need to have a moment to prove how amazing you are or how much you suffered. Somebody asked me how come was IQ was, and he said, I have no idea. People brag about their IQs are losers. Conversations are not a promotion opportunity. Conversation interrupts how I did today. Read my blog. Number seven, try not to repeat yourself. It's condescending and it's really rude. And when we tend to do it a lot, especially work conversations or in conversations with other kids, we have a point to make, so we just keep repeating it over and over. Don't do that. Number eight, stay out of the weeds. Frankly, people don't care about the years, the names, the dates, all those details that you're struggling to come up with in your mind. They don't care, but they care about you. They care about what you like, what you have in common. So forget the details. Leave them out. Number nine. This is not the last one, but it's the most important one. Listen. I cannot tell you how many really important people have said that listening is perhaps the number one most important skill that you could develop. Buddha said, and I'm paraphrasing, if your mouth is open, you are not listening, learning. And Calvin Klein said, no man ever listened his way out of a job. Why do you not listen to each other? Number one, we don't let it talk. When I'm talking, I'm in control. I don't have to do anything I'm not interested in. I'm just center of attention. I can post my own identity. But there's another reason. We get distracted. The average person talks about 225 words per minute, but we can listen at up to 500 words per minute. So our minds are building in those of 275 words. And look, I know it takes effort and energy to actually pay attention to someone. But if you can't do that, if you're not in a conversation, you're just two people shouting out bare little sentences in the same place. You have to listen to one another. Stephen Covey said it very beautifully. He said, most of us don't listen with the intent to understand. We listen with the intent to reply. One more rule, number 10, and it's this one, be brief. A good conversation is like a miniskirt, short enough to retain interest, but long enough to cover the subject. All of this boils down to the same basic concept, and it is this one. Be interested in top people. Now, I grew up with a very famous grandfather, and there's a kind of ritual in my own. People will come up to talk to my grandparents, and after that, my mother will come up and will say, and she'll say, do you know who that was? Do you know who that was? She was the law to Mr. America. He was the mayor of Scarmatic. She won a Pulitzer Prize. He's a Russian biologist. And I kind of grew up assuming everyone has something amazing thing about them. And honestly, I think this makes me a better host. I keep my mouth shut as often as I possibly can. I keep my mind open, and I'm always prepared to be amazed. And I'm never disappointed. You do the same thing. Go out, talk to people, listen to people, and most importantly, be prepared to be amazed. Thanks. 네, 두 번째 영상도 잘 끝났습니다. 시간이 2분 정도 남았는데 그러면 세 번째 영상 한번 해볼까요? 네, 시티 플래너, 프로페셔널 시티 플래너가 시티 플래닝 그 게임을 하는 게 있습니다. 한번 볼까요? I'll look at my messages to make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, hashtag this, hashtag city, hashtag sucks, period. Right, get some love feedback. My name is Michael, and I'm a city planner for the city California. Today I'm going to try and build my perfect city. City planning ranges from very specific industrial nuances like transportation or infrastructure to much more broader land use patterns. Identify where residential, commercial, and industrial should be placed. We handle a lot of day-to-day activities. From one day we would be proving some residents permit that they're building in their backyard to a loom addition to a large-scale 800 residential development project with commercial and mixed use on the ground floor and everything in between. First thing I'm gonna do is lay out my render uses, and then I sort of the orientation where they're gonna appear. We'll stick with still industry of some sort in this area, since it's right up the freeway. There key and exit access for people coming to work in town. Some nice over here, so you probably do some sort of commercial downtown, maybe some in the residential and commercial on the waterfront here. We'll probably see some high-end residential or condos sites here. We will not be concerned about protecting some cliches, so it will probably be low density, and maybe we'll get some other high density residential in this area. As well as this, we gotta make sure we're gonna make our living room for public safety and parties and various visits and hospitals. I'm probably gonna default to lows with bicycle lanes, supporting medium traffic citywide. I'm sure a roundabout in here and get some through traffic flow. We're gonna track up the size here. We'll tend to curve a little bit. We're doing what we can to stay what we're going grid pair, because there's a really drawing design. We create a couple of directions to get the good neighborhood feel. Just really secluded, probably a little pricier home. Okay, so they kind of looks like a natural residential area there. Let's change gears here to the industrial area. We're probably gonna want to see more real rock system. Now the benefit of being a planner is making sure all the right parties are at the table. The include private engineers, various intelligence to help you determine what was where and the capacity of load. Do a nice boulevard, request two-lane board from around there. Probably come to traffic to get direct access to the freeway. Maybe we can build another bridge in the access point from both sides of the city here. A little bit of curve here to give them some character and bring the preserve the sense of privacy and tight harmony that one might have in motor house here. There's one accessible from a safety perspective. You might want to compromise access points. Behind this recent fires in Northern California, one of the lessons around there is the access points to and from the motor area and some one that got some other access point in there. This saying we need to test out. Oh wow, renting private car there. This is a residential area. We don't know what's starting a trash in this area. Let's put it on the other side of the right next to our neighboring city. So if you can get in a pinch, we can tell to come to the electric service stand. I'm gonna put the water pipe thing. So water pipe stand to run under the right of the way, so that if any public agency needs to get to them, all you have to do is pair up the road. What the message say. I guess this is how you really doing your job. This is short to keep an eye on the right thing what I'm talking about. Approach to slide rail. Green energy, what an excellent choice. Well, thank you for the lane. Friendly reminder is still not okay to show trash in the water, even though we have to collect it. Also, advising me for trying to keep the water clean. They're saying that mean you can throw things in the water. That's logical. So I'm gonna go into some of the areas. Let's see on here, we are lost in installation job. We track spinless with charter and it will evolve into fancy villas. This sounds like this side here, but so there we are. Now we get some of the so let's jump in. So we can kind of see a better some of these single family homes. Before telling me without hearing I think I might have to fix it. People are just some English here. So let's finish enjoying for residential in this area. So then let's put industrial job, provides jobs for citizens, produces goods for regular businesses. There's a lot of water, there's a lot of pollution. This gives you a space industrial jobs at a safe distance from any residential areas. So if you lack constants, it tells you. The other options is an office job. So actually it probably makes sense to mix industrial and office and a little bit of energy commercials in this area. On this main boulevard entering the city, we place the high density commercial, and I'm going to mix that up with the low density commercial, which is probably the private hardware services. Sort of a little bit of industrial, kind of like heavy industrial in some of these blocks, and then let's do a mixture of office. Let's throw in some green space, restaurants. If I put this part of I came over the wall. Yeah. They say that evidence is about 3 or 4,000 square feet of open space, but I don't know if this can infect the setting. There I'm gonna throw in some residential areas around the perimeters here, on the boundaries. I'm leaving a little bit of loam on the corners to help encourage those sort of neighborhood markets that you like to see on the corner. All the zoning is built on now. So I think the next thing to think about is probably the public services. Let's see, we got very clinics, hospitals, the sun. I don't know if there. I don't consider that a civil service. Let's look at the emergency services. Maybe let's get a fire station here. The mid block on Kings Boulevard. And let's throw a couple of substations or firehouses out in the outskirts to make sure there's coverage out here. There we go. Alright. Or look at all those smile faces. Alright. Did something right. Look along your messages. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I was scared. Standing in any other city of this size, etc. Okay, now I'm starting to get some feedback. They like some healthcare. What are the other comments? Oh, hashtag this, hashtag shitty, hashtag sucks. Period. Alright, that's some web feedback. If I get some additional public services here and electricity and power, I can probably compensate citizens otherwise. For this services, power makes sense to keep on around, but for public safety likes to stick together. Now we can mark grass spaces, okay, let's make it Alright, so let's focus on the primary hospital. Hospital forest fire are together on both sides of the city. So let's get some elementary schools in here. These are our hands out to have nearby any residential zone. These are car double in the river. You can double as park space. We were sort of putting a hopper high school or at one town, two high school schools. It's good for healthy rivalry. There we go. I'm starting to see senses around this. Alright, that makes me vote. Then look at the very bottom, the demand for all residential, commercial, and industrial is zero. So, let's hope that's a good sign. Resuming here in the residential neighborhood, you can see some homes popping up, people are walking around, you can see their cars driving around, new homes going up here. Everybody seems happy. Let's see, I got more messages. Did somebody lose his number? One lesson is not going to back. The message come on, everybody want to look is so nice, but less on nerves. Right, look, it's like we're making it rapid. I feel like a good balance of land uses. We got of national design and street coloring in here. There's a little bit of a combination of the grid system and a little bit of the street coloring that might be more dictated by the terrain. It's laid out nicely. There's a couple of different neighborhoods. Everything's not bifurcated. Everything sort of speaks to another until it relates in one way or another. I think if you gave me 20 trainers, I needed able to really do things around and get some good public trains in there and good connected directly with and make sure there are my services being people provided currently. I think that I fit in the city. That you can live, work, and enjoy all your life needs in this city. 네, 재밌게 잘 봤습니다. 네, 그럼 내일도 한번 화이팅 해보겠습니다. 화이팅. 네.